I'm not muted. We're just having a little bit of fun. What's happening, Mr. Mark Bare Naked Willie?
I was trying to read your lips, but you were talking so fast. Happy Friday. Happy BS Friday. What's going on, Dave Cooper? Dave Cooper Live.
Nothing, man. I need a coffee mug like that one, right? Who has a you're on mute button? I love that.
I don't know. I don't know who sent this. Someone sent this, Dave. There's no name on it. It's an anonymous person, but I bet they're special and much respect. And my heart goes out to you. All the best.
Hey, man. So always having a lot of fun. I'm sure we'll see some comments come in. We're muted. So, Mr. Mark, I love the shirt. Let's see it. Pull up the beard. GreenBuilt. I love it. It's a good color, man. It matches, matches my colors. It's right on par.
Hey, Dave, I got a brown one. I got a purple one. I got a green one. I might have a yellow one. I don't know. This particular year, they had two versions because we had the one special new sector and then the regular. So we had two shirts that year. But yeah, I got a rainbow of colors from the 9 awesome years. How about it, brother?
Yeah. Well, listen, man, we're doing our thing. We're on the road. We were in Tetra this week, having a great live show with the one and only Jerry McCahey. And yesterday we were at Mighty Buildings 3D Printing in Oakland. So we're heading to LA, I think, next week. So we're having a lot of fun out here, bringing all this great work that people are doing across the country to make our industry better.
The Monday show was incredible with all the professors. And I mean,
right.
I can't tell you. I can. I wrote it down on the paper. There were 7 quotes from Jerry. I mean, you and Jerry were live on the production floor. Things were zipping, zapping, zooming, and booming. And he just sit there with the eloquent and precise words that inspire all of us.
Not nonstop. Profits in the process he always says, right?
My favorite part is you walk over, Dave, and you're like, hey, man, check out that vending machine. Anyone want some nails?
That's right. That's right. So, hey, listen, we got a big show today, Mark. This is round 2. And when I say round 2, the second time that this particular organization has come back to Dave Cooper and Mark Willie to launch their show. So what do you say we hop into this? But first, Mark, we are live on LinkedIn, YouTube, Facebook, and
oh man, Greg Ugaldi's favorite, Twitch, so that the next generation could go from Minecraft to digital twinning.
Digital twinning, virtual reality, augmented reality. We are moving forward in a way that we have not seen in our industry in a long time. And we're very grateful that we have the opportunity to do it with the universities and the professors and Twitch. But today we're moving forward in another way because we're going to talk about an opportunity for people to learn virtually about different homes. There's something coming up. I can't remember exactly what it is, but I think we have somebody that does know.
I think they're in the fish tank, and that's fish with a PH. So bring them up, Dave.
You know what we need? We need like little fishing rods we can pull up and wind them into the show.
Okay, whoever sent the coffee cup, send the fishing rods. Mike Shafer.
Hi.
Happy Friday.
What's happening, Mike? How are you?
How you doing, guys? I can't match your enthusiasm by a long shot, so I'll try my best. But thanks for having me on here today and being able to kind of introduce what we're going to talk about on today's session. So I have many of those shirts as well. Not wearing them today. I'm sporting a different one for my sake. But I have many of those GreenBuilt Home Tour shirts as well too. We've been, from Mitsubishi Electric standpoint, we're going on the 5th or 6th year as a sponsor and participant in the Illinois GreenBuilt Home Tour here in Chicago. It's just a fantastic opportunity. I know it's virtual this year, was last year. Obviously, we're potentially planning on something later down the line in person again, but it's a fantastic opportunity for for builders, for contractors, architects, just anybody, homeowners, anybody interested in finding out about whether it's high performance new construction or renovation, which is another big portion of the tour that we'll be seeing again this year. Just a fantastic opportunity to see these projects in person, get some ideas, get some inspiration, what can actually be done in the Chicagoland area that actually does, lend itself to many other places in the country too. So we're very excited to, as a company and myself, to be a part of it again this year. You'll see me on the first episode on our first session coming up soon. So I'm really looking forward to it. I'm very happy to introduce Ashley and Maggie here from Illinois Green to talk about this year's GreenBuilt Home Tour.
Oh, we're going to have 2 other guests on, Ashley and Maggie. Who's that?
I think so. I don't know. Maybe.
Well, speaking of seeing you on the first episode, and we'll get those dates coming up. Can I put you on the spot for a second, Mike?
Sure.
Dave, I asked him that because I've been putting Mike on the spot for years. Every time I'm going on a new project, I'm like, Mike, this is what we're trying to do. Can we do it? He's like, tell me more, Mark. And then we figure it out. So I'm going to put you on the spot, Mike. Next Friday, can you join Dave and I back on the show?
Absolutely.
Bam!
Been waiting for it. Been waiting for the opportunity. We've been talking about it for a while, and finally, yes, I can. So would love to.
Mike Shafer in the house next Friday. BS Friday. Tune in. Well, that's it for today, folks. Have a wonderful day. We're just going to have – I'm just kidding. We got some exciting guests getting ready to come on. All right. Well, let's do it. All right, Mike, we're going to give you a drum roll. Go ahead and why don't you introduce the next 2 guests that are coming up on the show. And when you're done introducing them, we will bring them on. Go for it, man.
From Illinois Green, we have Ashley Marinko and Maggie Olsen joining us here today.
Outstanding. Let's bring them in. What is happening, Ashley and Maggie? Thanks for joining us today.
Hey, everyone. Thank you, Mike. That was a fun surprise to have you on and introducing us. That was awesome.
Hey, well, we're all about fun on this show, if you haven't noticed already. And if you clearly just look at Mark Willie's glasses, right? It should say more beer.
Oh, let me see if I have one of those.
Well, we love it. All right, Ashley and Maggie, this is going to be a lot of fun. Let's talk about what this event's going to be. But first, we want to know everything about you, both from the moment you were born to this very moment in time. And if you do not tell us everything, to include from the hospital table, Mark Willie's mom is going to call your mother's. And you don't want that. I don't know if you know his mother. You don't want that. She will pull it out, and it will be very embarrassing for both of you. So here's what I say. You only have 2 minutes to do it. Tell us a little bit about where you came from and how you got there. Maggie, let's start with you. And Mike,
Sure.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for having us on. I'm Maggie Olsen. I'm the Communications Associate at Illinois Green Alliance. I'm a recent graduate of Northwestern with my degree in Communication Studies and a minor in Environmental Policy. I'm from Knoxville, Tennessee, which is close to the Great Smoky Mountains National Park, which is kind of where I grew my love for the environment, being close to such a natural, beautiful space. And I learned a lot more about sustainability working at Northwestern's Office of Sustainability as a student work study. And I learned a lot about connecting with people and engaging and behavior change and the built environment. That was my first exposure to LEED. So that's kind of how I got connected to Illinois Green and been working there for over a year now. And I absolutely love it.
Yes, and you are in the process of making a move from Tennessee to Chicago. You're doing the reverse commute of what we call the empty nester snowbirds.
Mm-hmm.
Right? This is where we go back to, are we listening to our parents? Everybody goes south for the winter. You're going north for the winter.
It's the dream. Got to be cold.
Maggie, when October, November, and December come around, every month that statement Dave said will ring more and more true.
I'm sure. It will. All right. Listen, we have Ashley Marinko. Ashley, like we said before, we want to know everything from the moment you were born to this very moment in time, and do not leave out any of the good stuff, because it will be embarrassing when Mark Willie's mom calls your mother. You might have to move back home. I don't know if you want to do that just yet. All right, go for it, Ashley.
Thanks so much for having me. I actually would love Mark Willie's mom to call my mom, so that's all right. I'm Ashley Marinko. I'm the program associate at Illinois Green Alliance, which we'll talk a little bit more about. I've been there for about 2 years now, and prior to that, I was interning at a nonprofit that was focused on zero waste. And now I'm working at a nonprofit focused on the built environment, which has been really awesome, a really cool experience working there. And it's a Chicago focus, it's Illinois focused, but primarily Chicago is where I'm based. Maggie is over in Tennessee, but the rest of us are over in Chicagoland area. I'm from Chicago, the suburbs of Chicago, born and raised. I can't relate to Maggie with her, with the Smoky Mountains, and that's kind of led to her love for the environment. I'm not really sure where my interest and love came from because I grew up in the suburbs of Chicago. So not too much nature and things like that, but there's at least enough to have given me an interest. And at Illinois Green Alliance, I run a lot of our volunteer programs, as well as the GreenBuilt Home Tour. This will be my second year leading the GreenBuilt Home Tour, or third year leading the GreenBuilt Home Tour. So, so that's really exciting, and I'm excited to be here for the second time.
Well, listen, we're excited to have you for the second time. We're excited to kick this off for the second time on BS Friday, Dave Cooper Live with Mark Bare Naked Willie. We always have a great time showcasing those that are trying to do it better. And Maggie, this is your first time on the show, so we're excited to have you here. Maybe we'll learn something from Maggie. She's the communications boss. Like, I mean, she's the big wig, the big deal. In fact, nothing comes or goes without Maggie saying it's okay. At least that's the way I see it.
Sure.
That's how I see it too.
I love it.
Well, we had the practice run through the other day, and I hadn't seen this in our other virtual calls, but behind Maggie is one of my new favorite images, and can you see that, Dave? It's
your mother.
Mother Earth. There it is, and it says "Love your mother," and Mother Earth seems to kind of be dancing with the joyous world of eco and nature. I love that pennant. We need to get one of those for Dave and Jennifer's giant RV as it goes down the road.
on the side, right?
Yeah.
Flying out the back.
Yeah.
Well, I've already been warned by the kids that if I put my face on the RV, they're moving out.
Well, if they're moving out, you'll get better gas mileage.
That's right. I'll let them know you said that. All right.
Yeah.
All right.
So,
well, listen, go ahead.
It's funny how time flies. Ashley, you made me smile when you say this is your second year, because I mean, you corrected it on the button. The third year, I don't know. I don't remember how long you were with Illinois Green, but the third year you put on a huge event at Dirt with all the presenters and everything, or that was your first year. You had just been with the organization. We got to do it in person, and it was such a blast. So many people wore their shirts. Tom Bassadilli, Dave, wore 7 shirts.
In one event?
Yeah, he would talk about a project and he'd take off his shirt, and he'd talk about a project and he'd take off his shirt. So we got to see all the colors. I don't think we videotaped that night, but it's the joy of virtual now. When we do these events, we have them to go back on, because when you explore 8, 10, 12, sometimes 18 projects, which is a lot to put on, you want to be able to go back in and look at those and just see the volunteers that worked on it and the work of the project. So I love the fact that last year was a bursting virtual, and we get to do this again so people in other cities can pop on their tablets, can pop on their computers once a week and dive in. So let's dive in.
Yeah, and it's the first 2 Wednesdays of the month. The first 2, right? Am I right, Maggie? The first 2 Wednesdays. We're going to jump into this, but that's a key thing to remember. The first 2 Wednesdays. If you take anything from this show about this event, remember the first 2 Wednesdays of every month. That's the key thing to go with. So we got a great show for you today. One, we got some presentation. Yes, you know we love our presentations. So that's the first thing. And then we're going to review the new website. And we're going to tell you all, how do you join? How do you log in? How do you sign up? What's going to be talked about? And you get to interact with all these fine people that we are having on the show today. So with that said, why don't we hop into it? Mark, kick us off for
GreenBuilt Home Tour 2021, year 9, another year to enjoy, learn, and share. Maggie, where are we at?
Ash is going to share our presentation talking about the GreenBuilt Home Tour.
Perfect.
All right.
Let's do it. Bring it on.
Let me pull this up.
There it is. When you're
How
ready,
does that
tell me.
look?
There
Like
it is.
$1 million.
And then I messed up. There we go. All right. So we already did our intro, so we can go ahead and slip through here, change the slide. But basically, if you guys want to send us any emails, there's our contact information if anything comes up throughout that. If there's any questions. So Maggie, if you want to share a little bit about Illinois Green Alliance.
Yeah, so Illinois Green Alliance is a membership-driven nonprofit in the Chicagoland region. We're an aligned chapter of the U.S. Green Building Council, and our primary focus is hosting educational programs for architecture, engineering, construction professionals. We host about 50 programs every year, and then we also have some programs that extend into communities, so these are more long-term projects. We have our Illinois Green Schools project that is a year-long project-based learning challenge for classrooms in Illinois. And we just finished our first cohort of that this past May, and the next one is launching the first week of August. So if you know any teachers or other educators, feel free to share that with them to help bring sustainability into their classroom. And our other program is the Neighborhood Power Project, which helps connect existing buildings, nonprofit groups with grants and sustainability like walkthroughs to get their building assessed and make improvements to their facility. And our strategic plan, 5-year strategic plan, centers around net zero buildings. And Ashley, if you go to the next slide, talk a bit about our focus and mission is to get net zero for all building types. And we want net zero to be feasible, affordable, and commonplace throughout Illinois. So these are our 3 main strategies, is that education piece I was talking about. The second piece is removing barriers through policy. So we're a part of several coalitions, and some of our staff helps communicate with other cities and municipalities to talk about net zero codes. And the third part is demonstrating it can work everywhere through those programs like the Green Schools program and the Neighborhood Power Project to tackle different building types. So that's a bit about Illinois Green, and you can learn more on illinoisgreenalliance.org. Yeah.
I love that slide with the this one. This is great. The removing the barriers is such a sustained effort that's been going on, and of course the work in the schools is I don't know another force that does what you guys are doing. I love this graphic. Gosh, this is brilliant. Thank you.
Thanks, Mark.
Yeah, you know what? And it's very clear, that graphic. If you go back to it before we move on, I really want to talk about, number one, educating, right? The AEC professionals. We need so much more of this in our industry. There is no good place for them to go outside of these events, in my opinion, to learn about these types of building processes and what's happening, because the traditional educational system is not teaching this information. So, and also the collaboration that needs to come from from a resource such as what you guys are getting ready to do, to collaborate not only the architects and engineers and the whole AEC community, but also the trades, because you can't have one without the other anymore. This is no longer, I went to school, here's how it gets built, and it doesn't work anyhow because it's on paper. And oh, by the way, if you're still using paper, well, that doesn't make sense, does it? So digital twins are here. But with that said, this is what I think is, in my opinion, the number one point on here is probably the greatest point of this whole slide deck, because that leads into all the other 2 and 3. And I think well done.
The other day, Dave, we talked about ringing a bell when we hear the magic words, and today we heard education, collaboration, and trading the trades. And so I feel like just going ding, 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 ding. It's beautiful.
All
Yeah,
the
for
bells.
sure. All,
Yeah.
bells and whistles. That's Mark's all about the bells and whistles. Wait until have you guys seen our Christmas show? You got to wait for our Christmas show.
Oh,
Put it on the
I
calendar.
can't wait for that.
All right.
But yeah,
well, go ahead. I
that's
didn't mean to slow you up, Maggie.
That's a big portion of what Illinois Green Alliance does is education, and we put on about 75 educational programs a year. And a quick plug for anybody who is interested, with last year and this year all being virtual, you can find all of the webinars we've done in the past year and a half, all on our website on Illinois Green Alliance on demand. So a ton of resources there. It's free for members. If you're not a member, some of them are free, some of them are only $5. So definitely check it out if there's a huge range of topics that you guys can learn about. So that brings us to the GreenBuilt Home Tour, which is one of our biggest educational programs that we put on. So the GreenBuilt Home Tour, like I said, this is my third year doing it, but unlike Mark, I don't have all the t-shirts. I actually only have one t-shirt from the one year I was in person. But it is our signature event that we put on that really allows attendees to see real life examples of these amazing homes throughout Illinois and Chicagoland area, and allows people to meet the project team behind these homes, like the architects, the designers, the builders, the homeowners, the entire project team. And it's typically a 2-day tour, but obviously with COVID, it hasn't been, it's been all virtual, which is actually cool to be able to do that and look back on all of those recorded webinars. So, but hopefully we'll get back to the in-person tours soon. We are talking about doing in-person small tours in the fall. So stay tuned. I'll definitely share out that information if we do end up doing it. And it's a really great event, and it has led to a lot of attendees doing really cool projects in their own homes and becoming presenters on the tour. So that's been one of the coolest things I've seen is people be like, oh, I came to a home, I saw this, I met this person and they helped me do this project. So that's really the main goal. 100% of this is to allow for attendees to see real life people, real life homes, and get those questions answered and, break those barriers to entry when it comes to greening your home. This year is a little bit different. Mark talked about how previous year was different with the 2 shirts. We had a new track of homes that were renovation. This year we have an even newer track of homes, which are minor renovations, which are homeowners who have done projects to their homes. And it's homeowner driven. We have a few new construction homes that are builder and architect driven. We have some major renovation homes that homeowners had to hire people to come in and do some big major projects. And now we have projects that homeowners have taken on themselves. So we're really hoping to break all the barriers of entry and find, a possibility for everybody to find something that works for whatever home they have and whatever, resources they have. So the first webinar to talk about, this next slide, is our Frank Lloyd Wright webinar. So this is going to be next Wednesday, July 28th, and that's going to be with Tom Bassadilli, an architect who is driving the projects behind this home, this renovation, as well as the homeowner. It will be on Samantha Lottie to talk about her home, as well as the mechanical engineer, I believe, and also the builder. So there's going to be the whole project team will be on there to talk about this home. And it's extremely unique, this project, because it is a 110-year-old Frank Lloyd Wright house. So it's very unique, a lot of challenges that they faced. It's a 5-year plan to get the home to be net zero. So it's a really cool project. This one is more so probably leaning towards the green building professionals. But with that being said, if you have any type of interest in green building, I think this is an awesome webinar to check out. And I want to share a bit more of information about the home and a few photos right here.
Oh my gosh.
Wow.
So you can
Look
check
at this. 100, I mean, look at this. 110-year-old Frank Lloyd Wright. Like, this is a dream home.
Yeah.
And we get to learn about it on July 28th. Look at this. Oh, Tom
Isn't that
Basadillo,
amazing?
you're a rock star. Way to go.
I had to blow it up. Wow.
It's beautiful. It's really beautiful. And they're also a plug. They do have an Instagram that we can put in the chat. It's Balch House, BALCH House. And that is their Instagram handle that they post a bunch of pictures and all about the project. So if you guys want to follow or take a look to read more and see a lot more pictures, it is a really beautiful home and a beautiful project. But yeah, so basically, like I said, the project team will all be on to discuss the home and the challenges and how they are on this path to zero while still following this historic preservation principles to maintain this home and the history and how historic it is. So it's a whole new set of challenges to face that is unlike any home that's been on the tour before. It's super unique, super complicated project. So I highly recommend checking it out to hear all those different perspectives. And the whole goal of this project is to maintain the integrity of the home while radically reducing the carbon footprint. So it's definitely a challenge in itself. And if you want to hear more about it or learn more about what's going on in these pictures, check it out on Wednesday.
Oh man, I want to see that house.
Yeah,
I know. Ashley, I'm reading Dave's mind right now, and Maggie, I'm reading his mind, and Jennifer and Dave are telepathically saying we're heading to Oak Park. We're heading to Oak Park. I can hear it. I can just hear it.
Yeah, it's a direct path. It's a direct path back to the East Coast. So we should
come stop through and check it out.
But Maggie, I can tell you it will be before the winter hits. I'm just letting you know.
Smart. That's a guy from the Midwest. He knows.
Yeah, that's it. Perfect.
So then the next webinar that we have coming up, which will be on August 11th, is the Tale of Two Codes, Adapting Your Approach to Net Zero Construction. This is also another the other one wasn't new construction. This is the new construction focus with two new construction homes. One is a builder, Bright Leaf's home. The other one is architect Nate Kipnis, Kipnis Architecture, their home. One is in Western Springs, Illinois, so a suburb of Chicago. The other one is in Boulder, Colorado. And the goal of this program is really to discuss the two different paths the builder and the architect took in their homes, and the codes in their area, the codes in Western Spring versus the code in Boulder. That's really they have a net zero code in Boulder that's has really allowed for Nate and his team to build in a certain way. So being able to talk about that and how those codes have really impacted their project. So that's a big portion of the program, as well as just learning about these homes. The first home in Western Springs, the home raises their standards and expectations for indoor air quality, comfort, durability to address today's health concerns. So that's a big focus, as well as they'll talk about their solar panels, their electric vehicle charging, their heat pump and tankless water heater, advanced water protection, and superior insulation. And the home in Western Springs is a zero energy ready home, in addition to also putting electric HVAC and water heating in the home. So that will be definitely a cool home to check out. They are pursuing Energy Star for home, DOE Zero Energy Ready, EPA Indoor Air Plus, and EPA WaterSense certifications. So definitely a cool project.
I'll add to that for the people that attend regularly and were here last year for this, and for the new faces. The project we just saw on the last screen, Tom Bassadilli, has been on the tour since the beginning of the tour, as have Nate Kipnis has been on every year. Brightleaf Homes has been on a great portion of the time. And so, Dave and the audience, the thing that I like about what their organizations and teams do is they regularly bring forth their projects to the community and to the construction industry, and they share what's working, what they want to be doing next, and they're very outspoken. Nate is part of the 2030, and I think Tom Bassadilli's organization has achieved some of the highest percentages of the marks of 2030. So really commendable. And when you talk about collaboration, this is an industry collaboration, right? To share forward. So the fact that we get to attend this virtually, and we don't have to fly to Vegas for an AIA convention, I mean, that's a carbon savings right there.
Yeah.
All by itself.
Totally. Yeah, and like you said, Mark, all these people have been on the tour for years, and they're really driving the residential green building industry in Illinois. So they're really awesome to hear from, for sure, with some amazing experience. And just a quick little blurb about Nate's home. So this home is still in the planning phase, but he still has already faced a lot of challenges and also overcame a lot to even in the planning stages that he's going to be sharing. So although they're still in that stage, there's a lot for him to discuss about the home. And this is in Boulder, Colorado, and the home is planned to be completely off-grid with no connection to electric or gas at all. And it's also in a mountainside, you can kind of see in the picture, but I'm so excited to see it once it's complete. I think it's going to be so beautiful. But
the building conditions create a layer of challenges, and then the off-grid create a layer of challenges. And then when you think about the brain and the mind and the pathway of Nate Kipnis, he looks at all these as what benefits he can use from that environment to create a better build. And of course, like always, the high design, right? So the consumers often don't notice net zero or off-grid, but they notice high design. And this is a remarkable project aesthetically that happens to be a or exceptionally performing building and low energy use as the aggregate. Oh man, it's so beautiful. I want to kiss my computer screen.
Yeah, it is. It's really cool. And so the home will be powered by the large solar array. And then when needed, it'll have a propane powered generator. And it gets both its actual and aesthetic energy from the sun. And the design is based on winter and summer sunrise angles in Colorado, and the noon sun angle and the equinox sunrise that supply both beautiful illumination to the home and proper shading in daylight. Some of the green features that you can see in this home are the local stone that was used in building, smart thermostats, the solar panels, battery backup system, a tight perimeter detailing, EV car charging in the garage, and they'll have a recycling center in the kitchen, smart home system to allow for remote control monitoring, and also the all electric systems, including the Mitsubishi air source heat pumps, and heat pump water heater and dryer, as well as an induction stove, and a lot more that you guys can hear more about on August 11th. So definitely join us, especially if you're interested in also learning more about Boulder County's net zero residential green building code and how that really impacted this project.
talk about bells and whistles. The Coopers are heading back to Colorado.
Yes.
And I think along the way, Dave, can you pick up Maggie and Ashley and I'll meet you all there.
I would love that.
For
Yeah,
sure.
yeah. We'll head north to head south. Well, we got to head south, then north, and then back to Denver because we got to go pick up Maggie in Tennessee, Ashley in Chicago, grab you in Chicago, and then come back. And there's no carbon footprint being left behind with that tour.
We're not going to need a lot of potato salad to make this journey work. Awesome. How about we take a break, Dave, and find out who's joining us in Colorado? Who's joining us in Colorado to see Nate Kipnis's project, huh?
Well. Let's see who we got in the lineup today. Peter Mullen, our fabulous, fantastic Friday Toronto on. Hey, man. Toronto, Ontario. I'm losing my mind. What's happening, Mr. Peter? I hope you are well. Thank you for joining us today. George Ryman in the house. It must be raining in Phoenix, Arizona. He says it's wet. That's
Tammy Phoenix says, with a PH, Dave.
There he is. Can we consider fun as a pun?
Beautiful.
Too much time on your hands, George. Too much time.
Yeah.
We love George, man. He's always hanging out with us, which is awesome. Awesome. Oh, no. Not the great one. Greg Ugaldi in the house. Great show, Dave, Jan, Mark, Mike, Ashley, and Maggie. Awesome. So why don't we let Ashley and Maggie know who Greg Ugaldi is there, Mr. Willie?
Well, first of all, he's got a new cover photo. Maybe that's just for Twitch. So Greg introduced Dave and I to Twitch, and Greg is the immediate past chair of the NAHB, and like George Ryman and Andrew Seeley, I believe he's watched all 63 episodes of Building Science Friday Live, and truly we could be learning from Greg, but somehow he tells the president, "Hey, hang on. I'll meet with you in a minute. I have to go see Dave Cooper live." And Greg, we know your organization is doing a lot. We know the housing starts are moving. So keep up the good work, brother.
Yeah, for sure. Greg's been a huge supporter and on the show once a month. In fact, Greg, you're coming back up on the show. I got to look at the exact date, but it is not far from now. In fact, let me just see, because I bet I have it in here somewhere. I'll get back to you on the date so I don't hold it up. But Greg is coming back up on a Monday here soon. He probably knows that he has it on his calendars open. So moving on, because Greg has some more comments in here for you, Mark, at some point along the way. We got G-Pod in the house. What's happening, Andrew? Doesn't he just look dapper in that photo? The guy just looks like, it almost looks like it's a 1950s, just clean-cut young man photo, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Old school.
Ashley and Maggie, speaking of off-grid, right? Dave and Jennifer were just down in Texas with Andrew. He's building an off-grid home from off-site produced components, and he's building it with batteries charged from solar panels.
Whoa.
So the build is also built off-grid. There's no generators on his property. There's
He
no
loves
water.
cloudy and rainy days. That means he doesn't have to work.
yeah. Right. What did he say last week? It's rained 10 out of the last 8 weeks in Texas, right?
Yikes.
Oh, man.
Yeah, if I know Andrew, he probably has a big old tent or something built up over top of his project so he can keep going somehow. He probably stored all of his batteries and all of his power somewhere. I don't know. All right, Andrew. Ding, ding, ding is what Greg Ugaldi says. I have one of the shirts, and these efforts are certainly on our radar. So
awesome.
We appreciate that. That's from the man. That's from the top. That's like that's the last rung on the ladder going up. Love it, Greg.
There it is on the ticker, Dave. August 16th, Greg Ugaldi returns for his monthly visit to Dave Cooper Live. August 16th. Beautiful.
Not too much further away. That's only a couple weeks, so we'll have Greg back on the show with plenty of updates. And we're heading up to, we got we got, seminars are picking up, not just yours, but there's a lot of them getting back out there. So this is a fun time of year because there's so much education happening. You cannot help but get yourself educated. Get you some. Love it. All right, Mark, let's get back to the presentation here as we move forward. Ashley, Maggie, I'm sure you have some more exciting things to share with us on this presentation. Should we jump back into it?
Sounds
Mark
good.
says yes. Mark says, did you see Mark? Mark says yes. All right, let's put it back up.
And I'm going to pass it over to
one
Maggie.
thumb.
So our third webinar on the GreenBuilt Home Tour webinar series is one that's, again, a retrofit. So this is how to prioritize sustainability upgrades for an all-electric home. And we have Tom Bassadilli from the Lloyd Wright home. He'll be back on sharing about his retrofit of his own home that he's been working on for the past few years. And then another homeowner who's finished his retrofit in a Lincoln Square solid masonry 2-flat. So both of these are going to be all electric retrofits, and we'll also have folks from ComEd talking about the all electric pilot, which both of these homes are on. So that's another way to gain incentives and rebates for doing an all electric home. So
I believe ComEd is also a sponsor of the tour.
they are, yes.
They
Love
are.
that. So this is important, right? The tour and the outreach and the education it's providing is so robust that a utility company says, you know what, Illinois Green Alliance, I want more people to know about it. I'm going to sponsor it. That is huge.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And it's commendable. And hey, utility companies, contact Illinois Green, get their message out. I love it. Beautiful.
It is beautiful. And Elon Musk, if you're listening, we're calling. We're calling Elon, right? Because your cars need to be charging our houses, not the other way around. You got big windmills driving down the road everywhere. Lots of them. If we could find a way to send that energy to the cloud and then download it back into our houses, how cool is that?
Yeah,
That's just a new idea, by the way.
Richard Branson, get off your rocket and come to the GreenBuilt Home Tour.
That's
This is a rocket ship you want to be a part of.
For sure.
New sponsors.
Yeah.
And we say it with all
Tesla.
sincereness and kindness, so please don't send your legal team after us. And if you do come, Mark's my legal advisor. Go to him first.
I'm sorry, I'm muted.
For sure. All right, moving on.
Do you want to go to the next one? Or another thing on this one is that Tom has created this really cool flow chart to talk about how to prioritize decarbonization upgrades. And it's a very simple, do you have this in your home? Yes, do this. No, do that. And so that's another thing that will be on this webinar, and another thing we'll be adding to our website soon. That's going to definitely help homeowners or contractors who are doing a retrofit and are trying to work through where the synergies lie between these types of webinars. So this is what I'm definitely excited about, because I think it's a good bridge between homeowners will find a lot of use out of it, and also contractors and more building science folks.
Yeah, and well, Dave, you haven't seen him yet, but Maggie and Ashley and I have gotten a chance to see many of Tom's presentations. He's got that knack, right? He knows how to drive it forward. So the fact that there's a spreadsheet that helps answer those questions, because Tom, he can't answer everyone's phone call. That's, again, the robust thing about sharing. It's like, hey, I created this. It's working. It works for the people and the projects and the buildings out there. So here's a tool. Use it and share it. And if you have tips, tricks, and lessons, give it back and we'll update the tool. Beautiful.
Perfect.
All right.
Then our fourth webinar going on that too is a Green Home Upgrades Ask the Expert. So someone we're excited about having on the tour is Sean Armstrong, who's created this a pocket guide to all electric retrofits of a single family home. It's like a 90-page document, but he's going to walk through it on this webinar. It has a product guide to products that will help with energy efficiency and electrification, a full cost benefit analysis that's definitely useful for realtors or other builders trying to show the value of energy efficiency in all electric homes, and then also some case studies from homes who have implemented the research from this guide. So people will be able to ask questions on this one, take a look at the guide ahead of time. We'll have that on our website, and we'll have a couple other folks on there to have a diversity of opinion on this expert.
Ask the expert. So ask the expert, Mark. So get this. This is a whole new series because our show is Ask the Expert. Every Friday, we have experts from our fields on the show, like Maggie, like Ashley. So for all of you that like our show, you're going to love the experts they have. And I think you should go there and register for that. So I think that is perfect. Ask the Expert. And look at Maggie and Ashley, how awesome they are. Awesome. We're going to be out of a job soon.
I also say that, Maggie, you made me giggle.
He doesn't giggle often, but when he does, it's a giggle.
She goes, on our website, you can download the pocket guide. And then you just kind of slip in that it's a 90-page, right? I'm like, what size are this guy's pockets?
It's a large pocket. Probably men's pockets,
Yeah, it's a USB. It's saved. It's like a little USB drive.
This person has 90 pockets on their jacket.
It's a cargo pants. It's a pocket guide for cargo pants. We have several pockets, 10 pages in each pocket.
You know what it is? It's that Tennessee moonshine has gotten to her. That's what I think, Mark.
No.
Well, Dave, you have the kit with you, right? You have your medic kit that you carry at all times. We need to download that 90-page document so when you're out touring the country, you could turn around and say, "Hey, have you seen the pocket guide?"
That's right. Come on over here. I'll hook you up with an IV to keep you going.
I can't. I'm going to download that later today. Little light reading and reflection for Sunday, and then everyone attending today on Monday there will be a quiz. So please ensure that you spend at least 6 to 9 hours reviewing those 90 pages on Sunday. This is mandatory. If you don't do it, you're wrong.
You're wrong. You're wrong. That's what you guys should do. You should take 3 months out of every year, and every day just send a new page out.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Right? And just do some heading on it. Like, make a joke out. Like it's a joke, but it's for real. Everybody can read a page, send it out just one page at a time after the event, just to remind people what's going on. Like, there's got to be something good within 90 pages.
I tell you what, the fourth quarter of this year, Maggie, all your communications outreach is handled.
A daily
newsletter. 3 months of work right there.
All right.
Yep.
Yeah, put it into the calendar.
I'll send you my Venmo account, Maggie.
Do some salary sharing there.
That was great. But seriously, look at that, right? I mean, they're going to come on and they're going to present this, but that resource is available now. So we don't need someone in Ohio, Cleveland, Tuskegee, Monterey. They don't need to start working on that document. It's here. It's out. It's open source. Dave, your students, how many downloads are they going to have? Endless.
That's right.
Right?
That's right.
That's what it's about. Here you go.
It's an awesome resource. Yeah. Definitely something everyone should check out. Just even, beforehand, if you want to read the 90 pages, you got a couple weeks. But it is a really awesome resource if you're interested.
Mark, brilliant idea. Listen, for all of you out there that have events like this event, we do have the university professors on our show once a month. I think we're up to 7 or 8 in the last 2 months, from Purdue, Denver, Tuskegee, Michigan State, like all the big universities that dive deep into their local communities, the trade schools and the high schools as well. Ashley, Maggie, I mean, this is a great opportunity. Our YouTube channel, it has all of these professors, all of this content. You can go back, see who they are, reach out to them directly, and send this stuff to them and ask them if their students want to join. And if you have special programs or, price points for students, if it is a paid for event, this is a great way to get them involved. The content that we put on this show and other shows is there. It just need to go look for it or call us and we'll help you get it.
And it's a great gift, like, to give back to Dr. Daniels, right? And I mean, it's incredible because the outreach they have. Wow. If you would have told me 16 years ago that there's a 90-page document where I can read on a Sunday, I would have done it, right? I would have. I mean, it takes me a while to read, so it might take me 4 Sundays, but I would get there. I tell you.
Yeah.
Love that. Dave, I've just decided we're canceling our Christmas Dr. Seuss program. Instead, we're going to read the 90 pages. As Maggie calls it, we're going to read the pocket guide.
The pocket guide.
we should come up with a Christmas special of green eggs and ham, but turn it into about building science.
Oh my gosh! Talk about putting people to sleep.
Oh. Make that happen.
Bring your candy canes and chocolate so you can stay awake to Mark's boring voice.
Mark, what rhymes with electrification? Do you have that ready to go? When you create your rhyming book.
Oh, what rhymes with electrification? Well, ventilation.
Ventilation. All right. Ooh, okay.
You're a pro. But yeah, we have a lot of student group schools in Chicago that all are part of the GreenBuilt Home Tour, and they've helped us market and everything. But it would be awesome to expand it into schools outside of Chicago. So I will do some of that outreach that you were saying, Dave.
Yeah, it could be the Pittsburgh Green Alliance. It could be the New Mexico Green Alliance. It could be the Denver Green Alliance. It could all of these different places you can go. Let's think broad. Let's think big. Let's go after all the universities and make it happen.
Yeah,
exactly.
As we're thinking big, I might be out of order. I kind of arrived out of order, but are we going to get a glimpse of the big website?
We are.
You are.
Yes,
you're out of line, mister.
I know I'm out of line. Like we've been on here for 57 minutes, and I'm still giggling. Wow, this is great. I mean, talk about a kid in a candy store, right? GreenBuilt Home Tour for everyone. It's better than candy.
It is. So I know we have a couple more slides. Let's get through the slides and then we'll hop into that website because Mark has a great idea. And we know that you out there that are taking time out of your busy day probably have to get back to work as well. And listen, if you are not following Ashley and Maggie and the Illinois Green Home Alliance, you're wrong. You should follow them right after this show. Do not leave this show because this show's super important. Tell them, Mark. All right, let's get back into it here, and then we're going to come up. We got some big things coming up, so we're going to tell you about those big things coming up too, as well. And you kind of already know who's coming on next week. Some dude named Mike, I guess. I don't know.
They call him Mitsubishi Mike.
Mitsubishi Mike coming on next. Perfect. All right, so let's wrap this up, and then we'll get into the website.
Yeah, so just our final plug for the 5th and final webinar of the GreenBuilt Home Tour is a homeowner-focused one. So we're going to have several homeowners who have done their own minor renovations on their home and have really been a self-driver of these components. So they either worked with other builders, but they were the ones who decided on it. So this will be great for people who are trying to do something, more smaller scale than a full retrofit, but just looking to trade something out or get some energy efficiency savings. So that one's on September 15th at 4 p.m.
And I believe one of those includes Jason LaFleur, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Right?
Dave knows Jason.
The Jason LaFleur. I know Jason.
And then is his distant cousin Marcus de LaFleur on this year? No, not this year. Okay. Well,
Marcus is not on this year, but we're hoping to do some videos and case studies with his home.
Oh, man.
And he's been on the past 2 years, so we just want to do some updates.
Yeah, all these folks, sorry for the name dropping, but they're inspirational because they open up their experiences, their buildings, their projects, their passions to the community. And so, of course, I'm bursting with love for them because they're amazing. Back to you, Maggie. Sorry for that.
You're good. We have a lot of their homes on our website too, which we'll go on in a minute. But Ashley, if you want to skip ahead to just some upcoming. So these are all the dates. And then we have our upcoming events with Illinois Green. If you want to see us before the GreenBuilt Home Tour, We have a continuing education program about the Indiana Toll Road new building that's been LEED Gold. So the project team is going to talk about that. And then if you want to meet some folks from Illinois Green and get connected, we have our annual boat cruise on August 12th. It's an annual fundraiser for our nonprofit, and it's going to be our first in-person event of the year. So set sail across Lake Michigan and find tickets online at illinoisgreenalliance.org.
Dave and Jennifer, make sure August 12th is on your calendar so you could drive your RV onto the boat, and that'd be perfect. I'm sure there's not room for the RV, but I'm sure there's room for the Coopers.
Always room for us to show up because we're self-contained in our own carbon spewing bus.
Yeah, but how wonderful for all the members and the organizations that you work with to put on the boat cruise. Dave, Navy Pier fills up with people from I forget what the acronym IIDA stands for. Illinois
Interior
Institute
Designers.
of Design.
Interior Designers.
Interior designers.
Interior designers. Yep. Which are epically involved in the LEED and the well projects. So the Navy Pier fills up. Everyone piles onto the boat. They discuss. They plan. They rejoice. And then they go back to Navy Pier, and the party lives on. So beautiful! I'm so happy that your boat cruise is back. One of the better events I've attended in all industries. Really well put on.
I agree. So I think that's the end of the slides, is it not? So is there anything else on those slides that I need to know of? No hidden features, no
Nope.
secret events. All right. There is a website attached to this event, though, correct?
Yes, let me share that. So let's see.
BS.
And sorry, I have some construction going on now. I think that they were off for lunch and now they're back. So sorry for
Barely
any.
can't hear nothing. Nothing
Okay,
at all.
good.
What?
I need that mute button. But yeah, exactly. So, but this is our website for the GreenBuilt Home Tour. This is not Illinois Green Alliance's website. We have two separate ones. So definitely keep that in mind if you guys are interested in the organization. But we do have a separate website for the actual GreenBuilt Home Tour, since it's, a big event that we do. We have information about the upcoming webinars all right here, where you guys can read more and register to each or all of them or none of them or one of them, but they are free this year, which is new. So that's exciting.
Can you blow that up full screen, Ashley?
Oh yeah. Full screen. Let's see. How's that?
Yeah, easier to read. Thank you.
There we go. So yeah, that's where all of these are, if you guys can see them better now. And then we also have the 2021 homes on here. We're still waiting for a couple more pictures and things like that, but all the 2021 homes will be on here. But the main thing I want to talk about are the resources and the Green Pro directory. So as we mentioned before, we've done 9 years of the tour. We've had over 100 homes on the tour throughout the 9 years, and all of those homes are on the website. So you guys can come on here and look up any of the homes that have been on in the past. And one cool thing with this new website that we have is that you can actually select, you can see like all of the different like categories that they're in. So if you guys click on the HERS rating right here, you could see all of the homes that are under that category and look through that specifically. If you want to look at all the homes that were on the 2020 tour, you guys can click that and look through all of these. So that's a really cool feature that we have now to help you kind of specify what homes you're looking for.
I see the project by Brandon Weiss, who's been on. I see the project by Scott Fardman and April Hughes. This is what an update to the website. This is fantastic. Dave, I think I think we got something special right in front of our very eyes.
We do. Let me ask you this: from the virtual tours from the previous years, are the virtual video tours that people walk through also attached now to these?
So we have a tab right here that says webinars. So you can view all of those on here and see those homes. And yes, the 2020 home, all of the homes that are under the 2020 tab will be in these webinars. So you guys can take a look and watch those from previous years. And I will mention, oh, sorry, go ahead.
I have to say the one with Brandon Weiss has got to have the best filming of all of them.
This one,
That's
for anyone interested.
Probably because I did it.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, there was some good Mark cameo in there. So definitely check it out. It's right here on YouTube. So yeah, you can watch all the webinars from last year. That's all of our footage that we have. And I will mention, if you guys are interested in any of the webinars this year, but maybe you can't make it on the day of, I still recommend signing up because I will send a link to anyone who registers. So whether you can make it or not, if you register, you'll get a link to the recording.
That's amazing.
Which is awesome part of being virtual.
I love this picture on the screen right now. If everyone could bring your eyes to the bottom corner, those were the little giveaways that we gave that people could hold their face in front of for the selfies. Yeah, I love that.
They're really cute.
Really cool. Wow. Robust changes to this website. And again, it's no longer the Chicagoland and the suburbs of Chicagoland tour. This is a tour for all. Beautifully. Well done. Well done, Illinois Green.
Thank you. And I can't take credit for it. It was all Maggie. So,
and our wonderful intern who's been working hard on this as well.
We have a great intern who our focus this year is to revamp some of the resources. And the last thing I wanted to touch on, the final thing about the website is our Green Pro directory. So the Green Pro directory is a really awesome resource that we're hoping to build out even more, but it has information of all the builders, designers, architects, everyone who's been part of the GreenBuilt Home Tour in the past, because this is the number one question we get from people is, who can I contact about doing this to my home? That is for sure the biggest thing that we get. So we have this all in here. And what I'm asking to all of you attendees is if you guys have anyone else that we should add in here that might have worked on a project that you were on, who has experience in the green building industry, residential, and they should be on here, please let me know. We would love to have them on here. This is a resource that we're really hoping to build out and make more robust. So if you're interested in finding anyone who works on these projects, you could check it out. If you would like to share anyone, please let me know. So that's all we had to talk about the home tour.
Oh, there's so much more than just that. There's so much more than just that. All we had to talk about. I mean, we haven't even got through the tip of the iceberg on this. We want to know how many steps it is to get into each house, and we want to know the energy efficiency of each house. We want to know what the Red Door of Truth told us on all of these houses. But you're gonna have to tune in to find all of these things out. Am I right? So there's a lot more to go over. We're just not gonna do it on the show. I'm just having fun with you.
No, that's perfect though, Dave, because that is what happens during the live webinars. They're the first person to say, hey, at pre-drywall stage, our blower door was this, and then we got it to this. It is outward communication about inside of the buildings.
Yeah,
love it. You hit the Red Door of Truth nail on the head.
Red Door Truth nail on the head. All right, perfect. Whatever you say, buddy. Listen, you guys, you two have been awesome. This is great that Illinois Green Alliance has come back for a second year to put this out there. Hopefully, this show and the content created from the show helps you guys build build what you're doing and get some more followers and more people interested in what you're showcasing. And the value of all this is it's a global thing. It's not just for people in Illinois and Chicago land. It's for anybody now. If you're looking to design a house, you're looking to build a house, you're looking to retrofit a house, there's something for everybody involved in this. And this is a place to go where you can just pick up little tips and tricks to make differences in your own life and your own bills. Doesn't mean you have to build something new, but I guarantee you're going to pick up little resources that could save you big on your utility bills moving forward. Just a guess.
New construction, existing builds, and some of these webinars that you find, they show the houses during the construction phases. We found over the years on the tours that when the walls are exposed on the project is actually we generate a lot of the feedback, because people don't often have the opportunity to find out and learn what's behind our walls. What makes this a greenhouse? Because once the drywall's up, you can't see that as well. But when it's open, you get a lot of insights.
There's a book, What Lurks Behind Your Walls. And we're not talking about the boogeyman, neither.
Another book to add to our reading list.
There you go.
Yes, but mine will only be 89 pages.
Oh, perfect. That's easy.
I'll save Mark a Sunday, or part of his Sunday.
Perfect. Maybe our buddy Miles is already writing that book, Dave.
That's right. He might be. Miles might be. Well, listen, both of you, thank you so much. Mark, as always, outstanding. But we got some upcoming shows we haven't gone over. We got some upcoming things as well on the Dave Cooper Live. Mark, what can we expect on BS Friday next week, my friend?
Well, we got a chance to have a wonderful intro of Maggie and Ashley by Mike Shafer, and he accepted the challenge of coming back next week and talking about the growth and the changes in our heat pumps, electrification, and ventilation. And Mitsubishi has been a big sponsor of, as we learned, Illinois Green and the GreenBuilt Home Tour. And so now we get to learn about all those projects that Mike works on. And you might just see some of these homes. So Mike is amazing, and we were thankful that he took the idea to come back in. And thanks for the ticker along the bottom. Makes my eyes dizzy. And we'll see Mike next Friday.
Well, I don't know. I bet. Well, why don't we get Mike to confirm real fast?
Oh,
Mike, do you confirm he's back in the fish tank?
I haven't left.
I was pointing down, not at the ticker.
I've been sitting the whole time watching. Great job, by the way, Ashley. Great job today. No, yeah, looking forward to next week. We'll talk about everything. Electrification, ventilation, all things air source heat pumps. Looking forward to it.
Mark, thank you for not saying anything bad about Mike. I knew you didn't know he was there. That was perfect, man. You did a great job.
It's impossible to say anything bad about Mike.
We'll see.
We'll see, he says. All right, so there you have it. That is what is coming up next Friday. Let's talk about Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. So Monday, July 26th, Devin Perry from the Building Systems Council, the Executive Director of Business Improvement Programs at the National Association of Home Builders, will be on the show because we are kicking off Building Systems Week. So we got the BSC Summit in Atlanta. That's right. We're kicking that off Monday. So here's another program getting kicked off on the show. And we're going to have some announcements. Somebody might be the MC of the whole event in Atlanta this year, but I don't know who that could be. Maybe it's Mark. It's Mark.
It's probably the person here that doesn't have the beard on. But remember, it's the Building Systems
Council. BS stands for many things. BS Friday, Building Systems, Build Show. Mark's mom made a list for us. We'll go to Mark's mom. All right, and then Wednesday also, we have a good week. Daniel Esparza, top-down technology, innovation, and construction. I don't know if anybody understands how this works, but think about building a 40, 50, 60-story building from the top down. How is that done? Build the walls and then build it down? Oh, yeah, they're doing it. It's been around for a long time. It's an impressive technique, and these aren't small buildings, so that's going to be an awesome show. And of course, like we said, we're going to welcome back Mike on Friday, and then August 3rd is another live on location. Guess where we're going to be, Mark?
You are going to be in Arizona.
Nevada, my friend. We are going to Boxable.
I said Nevada. I was on mute. Sorry.
You're muted, Mark. I can't hear you. We're going to be at Boxable with Galliano Terramani, right? Elon Musk bought one of his homes and is currently living in it. Mark, you're still on mute. You want to join us for August 3rd. That is a special event. It's a Tuesday, 1 p.m. Eastern, 10 a.m. Pacific. You want to check this out. They're getting a lot of press, especially when Elon Musk buys one of your products, which is super cool. So that's what we have coming up along with Mr. Greg Ugaldi on August 16th. So sounds like a pretty fun show lineup, huh?
Dave, what's going on tomorrow? Coffee with Dave. Dave's on mute. Coffee with Dave.
Coffee with Dave tomorrow. I almost forgot my own show. I almost forget because when I set this up living on the East Coast, who would have thought that my 9 a.m. coffee with Dave turned into 6 a.m. when I show up on the West?
No.
So that's right. We will be live at 6 a.m. I get up at 4:30 just to get the show in order to be live for all of you at 6 a.m. So join us for Coffee with Dave. I still think I'm on Guatemalan coffee tomorrow. I don't know. I'm a coffee snob. I like my coffee. Guatemala is where we're headed.
Dave, tomorrow, can you have Maggie on the show and you guys can read the pocket guide?
Mm-hmm.
We can. Yes.
Story time?
Yeah, so that would be your central time in Tennessee, right?
No, I'm in Eastern. I am like 30 minutes
still?
from the time zone change. So
yeah, well, that's just not fair. So I'm not going to. That's not fair. You'll be all bright-eyed, ready to go. I'm going to be there. I'll be drinking my Irish coffee, as Henry Mickelberg says, in the morning.
Maggie can sleep in, and Dave can sit there trying to read the 90-page pocket guide.
Oh yeah. No, actually, I'll be on mute, and Maggie will be just reading along. I'll have her full screen. So, all right, listen, everybody, we appreciate all of you joining us today. Everybody that's out there, double thumbs up, big thumbs up. We can't do our shows without you, and we can't keep promoting and bringing the experts onto the show without your support. So we really do appreciate you out there. Ashley, Maggie, Mike, we'll see you next week. Mike, Ashley, and Maggie, we will see you at your event. And everybody else out there, please follow them. And one last time, please hit that like and share button. And if you are not subscribed to our growing fast YouTube channel, please go there and subscribe. Maggie, are you a subscriber?
I will be in 2 minutes.
That's right. So we're going to hunt you down. And Ashley, Mike, subscribe. We need the subscribers to keep growing. All right, everybody, listen, this is another episode of Building Science BS Friday with Mark, Bare Naked Willie, and Dave Cooper. Thanks so much for joining us. You three stay right where you're at. We'll come back to you in just a few moments. Bye now.